Help the cat.
Well,
I haven't seen it.
I got into that little yellow house next to my building, there's a hole on their building, and it managed to get up on the design and all that. So we got, so we got them out there, and then this one, my sister, this one, my sister got the top one.
5:31, the policy in order. The wood stand for the pledge.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Josh here, Kim here, Greg here. Russ is not here, Tyler's not here, Andy's not here.
Present.
Item number 1 is the sick bank policy. So we're going to make a couple of changes to these speak for those.
Yeah, they were the changes that were originally requested when we started working on this in March. Under section 5, we took out the last line, approval is also subject to the town manager's determination that granting the legal not significantly impair the town's ability to provide service. And under the administration guidelines, it also removed the town manager for being responsible for administering the sick bank. The sick leave bank and enforcing the policy. That is just because the clerk treasurer is typically responsible for the HR duties and has access to the medical records, whereas the town manager doesn't necessarily have that because of guidelines, so that it's all in one office. But those are the only two changes. The original sick bank policy that the town has, employees are able to put days off into a bank, and then if an employee has an illness that would be subject to FMLA, short-term disability, they can get paperwork from their doctor and to be able to draw from that sick bank. However, it does not allow the employee to use this sick bank for family. So if your wife, if your spouse, parent, child were to have an illness that would fall under that, they're at this time not able to. This would open it up to allow a family to utilize the sick bank for a family member who needed significant medical attention.
To clarify, the foreign employees eligible to draw on the bank, they will have exhausted their own sick and vacation.
That is correct. They do have to go through all of their sick and vacation before they are allowed to draw from this to be able to use it.
How much sick bank time do they get per paycheck per month?
Whatever is available. So employees, once it is deemed a necessity, an email will go out, it will be anonymous, of who will be receiving the benefit, asking people if they would like to donate. Or at the end of the year, if, like our vacation policy is set to you use it or you lose it. So if you have 3 days left at the end of the year, you're gonna lose it, you can donate it. And then the employees can draw from this pool that other employees have crowdfunded and donated to.
Any questions?
If I remember right, that they carry over from year to year,
Yes,
so that could build up if we don't have any claims on
correct.
it. So, okay.
Any other questions? motion?
For a motion to pass the sick leave bank policy.
I would second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. All opposed, same sign. VPN for the water.
Do you need a copy of the papers in front of you, Dan?
No.
Okay.
So this was brought to our attention both from IDIC regarding the threats to water departments, controls via the internet that they're having different people break into systems and control their plants. So I asked Fearless Midwest to put in our controls and our SCADA to give me an option of what that is, and I emailed it to you all, and there was discussion about the cost of it. So I did email them back, had a discussion with them. They did lower the price a little bit on the VPN. And then we also reached out to our IT and had a meeting with IT, Peerless, Renee, and myself. And the IT then came back with an additional quote for a VPN. And the difference was great. And so I wasn't sure we were talking the same language. So I called Fearless back and I asked them specifically if what they were installing was a VPN hardware or software, and it is a hardware piece of equipment that essentially blocks any internet signal from getting to our controls in our control panel. It is a physical hardware device that requires no additional monthly fees or anything. Once it's installed, it's there. It's good for the life of a piece of equipment. And it will block any internet signal whatsoever from coming in to the controls, to the PLC at all. It'll block it. It will still allow myself and my employees who have passwords that will be set up for the VPN to log into the secure VPN, and then from the VPN, log into our controls to view our plan. That is the only way that you can get into it then. That's how it was explained to me.
Is that one password for all of you or each
It
one of
can
you?
be set up individually. It can be set up to individual usernames and passwords. It can also be set up for the administrator controls and then view only. If I would like for my employees, I don't think I would do that because I trust my employees not to make changes without my approval. But it can be set up to limit, however we would want to set it up. When we spoke with IT, I think theirs is more of a software VPN, which they have, but it incurs a monthly fee. So even though that fee is a lot less than what Peerless has quoted, in 3.5 years' time, I believe that, it would already surpass what the one price is for the piece of hardware. And I was talking to Renee about it earlier today. I think we should go with Peerless's hardware equipment, and I got a vote of confidence, so to speak, because I had a meeting yesterday with Port Engineering, who's going to be doing our wastewater SCADA, and their SCADA that they're implementing down there when this project's done is exactly the same thing.
It is a isolated, not connected to the internet whatsoever with a VPN, and only allows access through specified users with usernames and passwords into that VPN, but there's no physical bind or connection to the internet, like through server or whoever we would have for the internet provider, which that in itself contains the threat of anybody getting control of anything. So that's kind of why I'm steering more towards the quote that we got from Peerless, because I believe it's going to be set up the same way that Torrey is setting up the wastewater company. The secondary part of Peerless's quote is for a upgrade to our dialer, and those are expensive. When I say upgrade, it allows for more alarm connections, which right now we have a couple alarms doubled up. If we don't have the money for it right now, I'm completely fine with holding on that until maybe next year, or, put it in my funds to get that upgraded. There's no need for it right now as far as urgency. It would just have been an upgrade to the existing dialer that we have. The cost is great on it because of the dialer itself upgrade, plus the PLC has input cards that had to be upgraded to allow the additional connections for the alarms. We had the work done in the valve vault, and we added the new actuating valve, which has alarm set points on it as well, to tell us like if for whatever reason it would fail or not close. So those are added in there, and also we got that vault sealed up so that the water can come in. But if for whatever reason it would flood, whether it be a break inside the vault or outside water coming in, we added a float switch in there, which is also set on the arm. And we just had to tie those in with other alarms that alarm us. So we tied the high level, if water gets 1 inch in the bottom of the vault, we would get an alarm for high water tower level. We would just know that it's either the tower is overflowing or we have water in the vault, and we'd have to come in and check either way. So that was the upgrade I wanted for the dialer, was the additional individual spelling out of the alarms rather than bunching them together, because we were already at capacity for that. The VPN, though, I think is definitely more important. And like I said, if you want to wait on the dialer, that's fine with me as well. That's my recommendations, is to go with Peerless's quote for the hardware VPN.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, we are good. I don't know if you would qualify this as part of our IT upgrades, but there is still money left in that. In the interest we pulled from the CD to do IT upgrades that we could use.
That's what it's for. So. Any questions?
I think that just to do the first one, and then the next, is that, the second one, what he's talking about to do next year on this paper?
The part that's not dire, that extra dire.
Right, that's the part that, I mean, there's no rush or urgency for it. We're still gonna get the alarms, we'll just have to decipher which one it is when we come in.
So when we do budget for next year, we put that in for the budget.
Sure, yeah. If that's the route you wanna go, that's fine.
That sounds like
That motion?
That's a motion.
Yeah, that's it.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. API change order 2.
That's just a species order number 3. Don't put it for number 4. You want me to explain this? Okay, so a few weeks ago, I received an email from API and James S. Jackson that they had not received their payment from their June work, which was approved in July. I reached out to the USDA, sorry, to find out why, there was an issue with some paperwork. But we were able to get James S. Jackson's process, but API is technically out of contract. So they are unable to process any more pay claims for API until a time extension is granted. Whereas James S. Jackson had a time extension because they did lose a significant amount of time due to the NIPSCO delays. API was kind of not working at that time anyway, so that wasn't really a factor, but because API is working in the collection system, it falls on a little bit of a different schedule. So there is longer periods of time where they're not working and then they get to a point where they have to come back. So now they're at the point where they're ready to resume working and turning in pay claims. But because the entirety of the project has taken longer than anticipated, they do need a time extension as well. This will not result in any additional costs per se, because we're already extending the project. So we're already paying for the additional costs of the inspectors and engineers. So this is a formal paper for the USDA so that they can continue to work and submit pay claims so that we can get the project done and they get paid.
Is there any questions? Open the floor for a motion.
Yeah, I move that we approve change order 2 or 3.
That's the USDA's official number for it.
And I second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign.
I have a quick question, Mayor, on that.
Yes.
So, one thing I was thinking about, you talked earlier about this is the first step for them to get their extension is through the council passing it, which that just happened. But you said that James Jackson, they had already asked for their extension as well and got passed here, because I was at that meeting as well.
That pay was a whole different issue. There was a different paper that wasn't signed. Josh signed it Monday or Tuesday of the week.
I guess my question is, has USDA then approved their time extension? Or that doesn't matter, they just have to apply for the time extension to keep getting paid?
I'm assuming they're gonna have to still, the USDA will have to approve it, but we have to turn it into them. Alex sounded when she explained it, that since James S. Jackson already had a time extension, that this would push through easily, but it needed filled out before they could take the next steps.
So we've already talked about putting Renee in that spot, that vacancy. For the visitors bureau, we need a formal motion and approval to sign the letter of appointment for the visitors bureau. And I'll open the floor for a motion.
say if anybody's driven down South Center Street, we're coming into Waterloo, you're now in Waterloo without the extra. I'm just joking. The rain,
At least until tomorrow.
the rain stopped them and they had to quit, but I was assured that this paint goes on and dries very, very quickly. And so they were able to get down safely before we got those complete downpours. Everything looks great. We have the one Waterloo sign facing as you coming into town on Wayne Street. You can also see it if you're coming northbound on Center Street. And then there will be another logo on basically the back side of that logo, which will be able to be seen from most of the side streets as you're coming up to Walnut Street itself, and then as you're driving south on Center Street when you get past Walnut. So I think it's a great design. I think it's turning out, it's looking really good.
It is a really, really good design.
Take a look at it if you get a chance. We were expecting to be hopefully refilling the tank by the middle of next week. So it went pretty quick, and it probably would have went quicker had we not got the rain that we did the past week and a half. But
Can I be honest, I panicked when I saw the peach color. I was like, God, did I submit the wrong color? I panicked, and I was like, oh.
and it was the color for sure.
I was on the same thing, he's like, what do you guys do?
I panicked for a minute, I was like,
I will admit, I asked. I said, "That is the primer, right?" And they're like,
I got some.
I just got a question on this NIPSCO digging up the roads. They are gonna go back and make that right, aren't they? Instead of these big huge bumps
Yeah.
that they're leaving
"Yes."
everywhere. Because they're coming on our road now, and now we've got big huge boom.
If you look down there at the antique shop, they cut that bump back
Did
out.
they cut it
They
down?
pound it and then that's right. It was-
Alright, I just.
Yeah, they're hiring an additional crew that follows up behind them, that comes back, digs it all back out, and then puts in a
Puts it in, right?
hot mix. And
Yeah.
the few
Okay.
patches they've done have been,
Looks
they look
really
really
good.
good.
Alright, I just was like, we just got rid of those bumps on that road, you know? Okay, that was my question.
So while I'm grateful you guys changed the sick pay policy, I'm trying to understand why a paid parental leave policy was never even, responded to when I emailed you guys. Because I emailed council twice about paid parental leave, if anything were to happen. And I'm really sorry, I'm trying to keep my emotions in check here. But Austin had something happen to him while his wife was pregnant, and that's when I came, I think the second time I emailed, and now me and my wife are going through a whole different kind of thing. And I just feel like you guys turned a cold shoulder to me because I didn't get a response from anybody. Okay? And it's, like I said, I wouldn't wish this on anybody, but I just feel like the ball was dropped where we could have had a conversation. Because me and him weren't asking for a lot, we asked for 40 hours. And I love working here, nothing's gonna change my mind about that. But I feel like we got ignored when he needed it most, and now probably when I need it most. So, that's my question to you guys.
So we didn't, first let me say, sorry for your loss, like that. You're right, I would not wish that on you. I can't imagine. I'm thankful I've never had to. To say that it was ignored, I don't think is the right. We spoke about it twice in two separate public meetings. We had a back and forth conversation. I felt like we had answered the questions at the time. Nothing had changed that we were aware of. That would have required. So for me, that's when I respond to your email. Normally it's just, hey, we talked about this twice. And thought we were clear.
I definitely think it should be considered for the future employees of the town. Times are changing, companies are modernizing, municipalities are starting to follow. And I definitely think something should be worked out. I know Hamilton just had one, and they're about the same size as us. And I know a lot of, like, bigger corporations have it, and I know it's starting to modernize across the board. So, I just want to put that out there. Just gotta be here. So I appreciate it.
I sort of feel like if I send an email asking a question, even if we have talked about it, whether it's here in council or one-on-one on the street, I would have sent that email if I didn't want some kind of, maybe something in writing that I can go back to later on and say, hey, I asked this question, this is what I was told. Whereas the conversation on the street or the town council might not be written here in the same way. I would prefer, and for everybody, but I would prefer when somebody at least responded so that I know that you got it and that you heard what I said.
Sure, 5:59.